All right, welcome back to Jasmine and Father's Garage. We're back on this SH Prelude. Um, Finally, get the belts, timing belt locked in place. This is tight. It's tight in there. It's gonna leave the balance timing belt, the balance shaft belt. It's gonna leave it out. What I'm trying to do in here is doing a compression test. See how this SH engine, see how healthy. Because when I bought this on previous video, all the timing belt is just all gunked up in there. They all just got blend together with a sensor in there. So well I will give this a try, and I will do a compression. I got the battery pack 12.4 volts already, so I'm just gonna hook up the compression gauge here. Alright, I got the gauge hooked up on the cylinder number 1. Next will be 2 and 3 and 4. I'm gonna go crank the engine probably like 4 or 5 times, and we'll see what's the result. So make sure get the throttle plate open up so we get the air going in. There's my throttle plate jammer. It's like a small little flat pry bar. Open up, jam the pry bar so that you got more air coming in when I'm cranking it. It's not restricted. All right, here we go. Gonna crank the engine. All right, the number 2 cylinder. Number 3. Number 4. All right. So it's not what I'm expecting. Damn. Yeah, it looks like 1, 2, and 4 are pretty much kind of like the same, about 30 psi, and then number 3 cylinders almost 50 to 60 psi. And just to let you know that this engine haven't ran for a year and a half. So let's do I'm gonna just quickly do a wet compression test. So I'm gonna just put a little bit of oil on the spark plug hole and see if it seals the piston rings better, and then we'll get a good compression. So I'll do that right now. Okay, I'll just get the clear hose here and an oil. Grab some oil and just dip it on the spark plug hole. It's not gonna work. There you go. So we got oil in there, and then we'll do a compression again, see what's the result. Alright, this is a wet test cylinder compression, and see what the result. This is just the number one for now. Alright, well, it's still not a good result. Yeah, wet test is better than dry test. So dry test on one was like 30 psi, now it's like 50 on the wet. So let's do next will be in the next video I'm gonna do the cylinder leak down test, find out where it's leaking from. Could be from the valves. I'm 100% that it's gonna be the valves here. Well, let's find out. So yeah, I'm gonna set it up here, and let's continue. All right, next test is the cylinder leakage test. On this test, make sure you have a compressor air from your garage or from the shop, and make sure you're on the TDC on number one. So there's the marking right there, that plus sign on the flywheel matched to that little notch on the block. And here on the cams, make sure you're at the all the arrows up here is facing up, and the line here is facing together. And on the crank, in my previous video, it shows on how to do a TDC. So if you want to just look it up, I'll put the links down below. On the crank, there's an arrow matching to the water pump notch, so make sure this is facing up, the arrow facing up arrow. All the valves are closed, means that the cam lubes is facing up or sideways. So yeah, let's do a leakage test. Let's crank it. This is this gauge is from the compressor, and this is gauge the pressure inside the cylinder. All right, I got the line in, and let's just put this on 70%, and see what's the result. Again, this is the air from the tank and the compressor, and this is what we're gonna look how much will hold. And then when it holds, we're gonna have to listen where is the air coming out. If the pressure don't hold, that's what I meant. If the pressure don't hold, we have to find out where is the air coming out. I'll crank this now. Yeah, 70 psi leaking. That's a lot of leak, so we have to find out. Looks like the dipstick tube. See if it's coming through the piston ring. Nothing. Intake tube, see if it's coming from the intake valves. It's hard to tell. best bet is I'm gonna take out the exhaust pipe. There's no air. I can't feel nothing that I felt. No air. All right, let's check the intake pipe. Yeah, I could hear a little bit on the intake. Maybe coolant. Try the coolant. I'm gonna just turn this down. Bring it up again. Coolant. Nothing. All right. Okay. I moved the hose to number 2. Maybe I'll get a better lock on number 2 here. But no matter what, down the line, this head's gonna come out. But I wanna find out exactly where's the leak coming from. Like before on the test number 1, I can hear a little bit from the air tube. I barely hear on the dipstick tube. It's more I hear up on the front here on the exhaust manifold. Trying to go to the tailpipe, and I can barely hear it. I can feel the air coming out. Nothing. I hardly hear the hissing noise of the air. Maybe because there's a exhaust leak on this before. I'm not sure. It could be leaking coming out from there. So I'm gonna try this number 2 test, and hopefully we'll find out here. Yeah, it's more like on the exhaust manifold. Let's try the intake. Yeah, I could hear the intake, the same as number 1. Let's try the tailpipe. Yeah, same thing. I don't feel any air coming out or hissing noise. Yeah, check the coolant. Nah, nothing. Okay, compressor is going. Gonna have to wait. All right. Now the compressor is good. Now it's full of air. Let's try this. Yeah, nothing. All right, that couple tests just I did when I moved this cylinder this tube on cylinder number 2. It wasn't on TDC. That's a mistake. So now the cam loop is facing up. Same thing on the other side. Cam loop is facing up. Piston is up high. And let's go. All the valves are closed. So let's check it out. Alright, it's 10 under 10 psi. It's no good. No bueno. Alright, conclusion. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take out the exhaust manifolds and the intake and do a test